लोकाभिरामं रणरं नरेरं राजीव नेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुणरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये प्रेम से बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. This morning I want to say a special swagatam to each and every one of you who are blessed to be here in Mandir this morning. This morning we have with us, we were blessed to have our Dharmacharya ji with us here in Mandir. I want to say my humble Palgi Dadaji to you and to Pandit Parameshwar, my humble Palgi, and to Mom, and to all of you devotees, my Sita Ram. You know, sometime in life, there's always something that pops up without a plan. Sometimes life gets disturbed, no? Because we all should have some sort of plan in our life, some sort of strategy, how we're approaching this life. What are we doing on Monday and what are we doing on Tuesday? I know for the next 5-6 Mondays, Rosh would be here on Monday, right? Because it's Avisheka Monday. So then he'll end up in New York. But we have to have a plan, right? Hamish this morning, he went out on the truck because he had a car, but he made sure his plan was to come to Monday, right? And he's here this morning with us. So we ought to have a plan. And by having a plan, then you work towards that plan and life becomes nice. But then, out of the way, something would pop up and come in between you and your plan, right? And then everything get interrupted. So one day, in Treta Yuga this happened too. In Treta Yuga this happened. In Dwapar this happened. So in Treta Yuga, it was this Mahasage, Mahavishwamitra, that came to the gate of Raja Dashrath. Everything was so nice. Raja was in the courtyard, having fun with Bhagwan Ram, Bharat, Satruhan, Lakshman, Bhaya. Until Vishwamitra, he showed up at his gate, no? And if you go to Dwapar, Bhagwan Krishna was sitting, he was enjoying Dwapar, he was enjoying all the king's men around him. And then Sudama showed up at his gate. But both of them, what did they do when that bell rang? Both of them, Raja Dashrath, he says, it is Bhagwan Shiva is relating this, no? Bhagwan Shiva is relating this kahani. And Raja Dashrath, what he did, he left everything he's doing, like Bhagwan Krishna. And he ran because he know that by touching the feet of this Maharishi in Raja Dashrath, as Raja Dashrath, by he running, touching the feet of Maharishi, he would gain so much darshan, so much blessing. Bhagwan Krishna only had to hear the name Sudama. And he ran out of ideas what to do. He was so excited to go to that gate. But here in Ramcharitamanas, in Ramayana, Bhagwan Shiva, he's relating to Parvati Ma. He says, आपकी वहां पर के और आपकी वहां पर के देखो के कैलाश की पर्वत होई. That और की है देखो और के कैलाश की पर्वत है कि वहां पर के और के माता पार्वती के भोले की भगवान राम की कथा मेरे कही और की है मंगल की सुनो की है माता पार्वती होता है. He sat her nicely and he decided to relate the entire kahani about Bhagwan Ram. And then nicely they had a chaupai. It says, Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. अति मारिच शुभ हुए डरही राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम हो देखत जग निशचर धवही करई उधरव मुनि ढुक पावही राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम. Bhagwan Shiva, he turns to Parvati and he says, listen, O Maya, that there was a special job of mantras uttered. Muttering and debating of sacred formula. Maharishi Shree Parasuramji, Vashishta Muni, Dhanvantari, Susena, and all these rishis, they were there in Naimisharyan forest, in that Dandat, and what they were doing, they were uttering the name of Bhagwan. They were creating all these genuine formulas they were just discussing our lives, no? That is what they were doing. Raja Dasrat, and what happened, he got the message that's Maha Rishi Vishwamitra is at the gate. And Tulsidas Ji, he says that, and the words that Tulsidas Ji writes here, you can feel the excitement in him. That Tulsidas Ji, he relates that Raja quickly give all instruction to his men. He says, Jao, Milan Gaele Bipra Samaj. He says that go out and gather all the Brahmins and let's go to welcome this Maharishi. That the Raja, what he did, he welcomed the sage with great pomp, with respect. Nija asan bhaite rene ai, that he offered him his own throne. And what happened in Dwapar? Bhagwan Krishna could not wait to give his seat to Sudhamaji. And then here Charya is mighty. And here Raja Dashrath, he did the same. In Kali Yuga, it is different. Very much different. But here this morning, I have the privilege to do puja this morning. How excited I was. So Raja Dashrath sent for his 4 sons and he placed them on the lap of his guru. And the Chopai tells us, Asura Sumaha Saja Vahe Mohi Mecha Chanayu Nripatohi Ram Siya Ram Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Anuja Samita Deho Raghunata Anuja Samita Deho Raghunata Nisichar Bhadamahi Ubasanata Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram. Guru Vishwamitra bole that, O Raja, that the Asuras are disrupting our yajnas, that they are interfering with our offerings, that they're throwing water into our Agnihotra. That, O Raja, that I need to stop all of this that they are doing. And the only way I can do that is to take Rama or Lakshmana to Vanvas. He said that's the only way that this is possible. So as he is relating this, Raja Dashrath got very sad, no? Because as you read Ramayana, as you see the relationship between him and Prabhu Sri Ram, it was, my dad used to use it that his eldest daughter is his Aibal, no? Is his Aibal. And every time I read this Katha, I would think that Raja Dashrath, that he thinks that Bhagwan Ram was everything for him, Not that he didn't like Lakshman, not that he didn't have the love for Shatrughan or Bharata, but every move that Bhagwan Ram makes, his eyes get caught on him. And that is what we were talking about in Bhagavad Gita this morning. That we should be so attached to our Bhagwan, that everything, he told us in chapter 11, over and over and over, that everything out there is all my attributes. Everything out there, it's me. It's my prediction. I bring that into this world. And this is what Raja Dashrath saw in Prabhu Sri Ram, that every move he made, the entire Ayodhya would smile. So he had a special part in his heart. And then it says here in Ramayana that Raja Dashrath, he exclaimed. He says, Biprabhachana nahi kahehu bichari. He turned to this learned Rishi Vishwamitra. He said, Oh Brahman, I have been blessed with these 4 sons in my old age, that I did so much tapasya to earn these 4 boys. So much penance I did. And I finally got them in my old age. That in Satyuga I spent my entire life at the feet of Bhagwan, asking for this one boon. And now you're taking them away to Vanvas. He didn't even ask at that point, how long are they going to go for? What is the mission? He didn't want to hear none of this. But by the mere, he's taken them away. But then it says here in Ramayana that part didn't go so well, was Vashishta Muni plead to Raja Dashrath. And only the words of Vashishta Muni could have convinced Raja Dashrath that the right thing to do is to send Maryada, Purushottam, and Lakshman to that Dandak forest. And that, hey, Raja, that you will still have Bharat and Shatrughan here by your side in Ayodhya. And he tried his best to convince Raja. And Tulsidas, he continues as Bhagwan Shiva relate this Katha to Mother Parvati in this Chaupai. It says, Ati adharadho tanaya bhole hidaya le bahu mangri sikare Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ati adharadho tanaya bhole hidaya le bahu bhamiti sikhai Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Mere prananath sutado tuma muni pita aneka Ram Siya Ram Siya Ram after many thinking, suggestions and everything else, he placed Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman on the lap of his guru, of their guru. And he says, Mere prananath sutado. That my Lord, that these are my prana, my life. Tumha muni pita aneko. That now that I have placed them into your hands, that you should take full responsibility. But why did Raja, why he didn't have a problem of giving up his two sons to Vishwamitra? Because during the time that he spent with his children, he had all the conversations that was possible. He taught them everything about life. Because, you know, one time I told that this family that the minute you go through that door of your home, it's so different outside. There's so much people that some love you and some don't like you so much. So you have to be taught all of this before you go through the door. But Prabhu Sri Ram, he was taught by his parents how to handle any and all situation, how to handle all these not so good tendencies, some sicknesses, these kinds of harsh individuals once you step out of the door. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, sloka 62, it says, Dhyayato vishhayan pumsa sangasteshu pachayate sangat sangyayate kama kamat krodha vijayate. That anger, greed, lust are considered in our scriptures as manas rog. And what does manas rog mean? Manas rog mean that it considered as a disease to your mind. And Ramayana states that manas rog kachuta maine gaye hamin sabha kiri likhi bira lingha pai. That we are all aware of this disease of our body, this sickness by itself has the power to make one whole day miserable. This is what Manas Rog does to us. But we don't know, we don't realize that we are being continuously tormented by and this was what I was talking about when you leave your home and you go out to the door. We need to sit and we need to tell our children, give them all of this. You know, there was once a flock of pigeons, and lots of pigeons is in New York, you know. My dad in their backyard, they were on the gutters, and you couldn't pass that area. But there was this flock of pigeon, and they live under the guidance of a wise older pigeon. And one day, as they were roaming around, they noticed a set of greens in the middle of the forest. But these younger pigeons, without a thought, what did they do? They flew right down to the green because, oh my God, food is so easy to reach today. That they flew down and they went right into that scattered. While it says that the older pigeon, that he stayed away, you know, and he's looking on at them, and he's thinking, that can't be real. No one in their mind would come and just leave some rice action on the ground here for us to eat. that something is going on. And by the time he is giving himself this thought, the hunter pulled the string, and they all was caught into this great mesh. And there was this older one on the branch, and he's trying to think what to do. And what he told them, he says after observing the situation, he says to them that now that you're caught in this mesh, this net, that you have to fly towards the top together. If you put all your might together, then you can actually flow with this net and you can free yourself later. And by listening to this older one, they all flew upward and they took the mesh away from the hunter and they were saved. The same way we have as parents in the home, we have to teach our children these although they feel like they know everything, but they don't know everything. They are innocent. And Bhagwan Ram, the Raja Dashrath, he had taught Prabhu Sri Ram about all these little tricks out there. That the values of people are not equal, because and then we said loosely that none of our fingers are equal, right? But the values are not equal. So you will meet good people, you will meet not so good people. So in this case, Prabhu Sri Ram, he could easily identify the not so good ones when he goes out there. And what Prabhu Sri Ram did, he went there and he first put his eyes on Darka. He was the one that was disturbing all the Agnihotra. And he put his eyes on Darka, and he says that he gave his Guruji assurance that you can start and you can continue your Havan. And this was the little Katha that I planned this morning to tell you the importance of one of the little messages that our parents give us within the walls of our home, and two, the importance of Agni, because in all the yugas, without Agni, the devatas, they get fumbled because this is their food. It says nicely in this bhajan, it says, those who listen and remember the name of your Bhagwan, they are granted eternal kingdom. And all the pains of life would disappear. That your mind will always be pure. And how that happen? By filtering with the name of your Bhagwan. Whatever name you remember. By Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Ram, Vishnu Bhagwan, just remember the name of Bhagwan. And go, Jo Ram Ram nahi gaate, wo jeete ji bhar jaate. जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम नाम पाते हैं बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम एक राम नाम के जप से हर कष्ट मिटे जीवन का एक राम नाम के तप से पावन हो मन जन जन का एक राम नाम के जप से हर कष्ट मिटे जीवन का एक राम नाम के तप से पावन हो मन जन जन का जो राम नाम बिसरा से वो पग पग ठोकर खाते जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम नाम पाते हैं बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम जो राम नाम नहीं गाते वो जीते जी मर जाते जो जो राम नाम गाते हैं वो परम नाम पाते हैं बोलो राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम. That only the name of Bhagwan Ram can cross us easily through this Bhausagar between birth and death. I want to thank Sister Rita this morning for taking the challenge to sit and do puja for us. And each and every one of you can do that week after week. You can be here sitting to represent the entire mandir as we do puja. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to come out this morning, to come to mandir, to listen the name of Bhagwan. Prem se bolo Shri Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai.